Tracing their ancestry can be a
I gotta go meet
challenge.
with them.
America's legacy of slavery means there are often few records available. What does get passed down within families often isn't written down. In an exclusive project for Smithsonian Magazine, photographer Drew Gardner collected portraits of Black Civil War heroes.
1, 2, 3.
To bring these often overlooked figures of American history to light, he then tracked down their descendants and recreated their portraits with meticulous attention to detail.
Pretty cool. The project is called Tracing a Lost Ancestry, The Descendants. Drew Gardner started it a few years ago after recreating portraits with descendants of well-known people like Charles Dickens, Napoleon, and more. But he wanted to shift to telling stories of everyday people who aren't well known, but who have played a role in American history.
And Drew joins us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning there. How you doing?
Good to have you with us. So if you have the image of the Civil War ancestor, why do you need to recreate it?
Well, I just think that we forget history and really some of the stories that have gone into making today. And I think that sometimes certain sections of society are overlooked with the role that they played. And I was very surprised as I was researching to find out just how many Black Americans were involved in the American Civil War, and how relatively few surviving photographs there are where we know the identity of the person in the photograph. And I wanted to put that right, and I wanted to shed a light on this side of history.
Well, they're fascinating photos. Let's start with someone who's pretty well known, obviously, famed liberator Harriet Tubman, and talk about filming her ancestor.
Well, that was a real special moment. She was the only female we photographed as part of the series. But we had all of the costume made from scratch, and it was actually made by somebody who was one of the costumiers on the Crown TV show. And we took it as far as we could to get it exactly right. We had the furniture made, we had the background hand painted, and we even had the floor specially printed too.
That's very cool.
And the next one is a descendant of Frederick Douglass. I think we've seen this one before. We may have talked to you some years ago. I'm not sure that's the right one. Is that the right one?
It's a different one actually, because this is a direct descendant of Frederick Douglass, and we used his descendant to recreate this portrait of Lewis Douglass, who served with great bravery in the famed 54th Massachusetts.
What's interesting is you see how similar the descendant looks to their ancestor. It almost makes the history seem that much closer and more real.
It does. I would love to say that there is an amazing resemblance, but I think what we all have to, but I don't really claim that. What I really like people to do is to look at the photograph and think, is there any little trace? Is there any little trace from the family in there? And we are using a little bit of magic as well, in that all of these images were shot on a turn of the century tin-type camera, where the plates are coated in chemicals, metal plates. And then the person has to stay still for a very, very long time. So certainly with the Harriet Tubman one, it's nearly 30 seconds exposure.
Wow.
And we had a neck clamp at the back to help give the person some reference to staying still.
All right.
So it really was like going back in time.
Really? All right. So the next is Moore Flowers, a descendant of a Union Army teenager.
Yeah, Nicoy is an amazing one. He is a direct descendant of David Miles Moore, a drummer boy with the 54th Massachusetts. And his family, or his mum, had no idea how directly they were related until I phoned them up.
Wow.
And I called them out of the blue, and it was literally using something like a people finder service or something like that. Found their number, and I rang them up, and they were really surprised. They'd heard little fragments in their family, but they didn't have any idea about the whole depth and how directly they were related to it. So that was a really special moment for me, because it was putting a young person in touch with their past. And we had all of that uniform made from scratch from all over the world, basically. We had it measured to size. And my own son ended up, because he's a similar size and age to Nikoi, and he was used as the body double to get all the measurements right in the UK.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a great project. Thank you for sharing it with us, and you can read about it in this Smithsonian Magazine. There's the cover story. For more about Drew's project, you can check out the Smithsonian Magazine website as well as their YouTube page, and visit Drew's website and follow him on Instagram. Thank you, Drew.
Thank you very much indeed.